If you've been bitten with the orchid bug and you know where to look, you don't have to go far. Some of them have colonised my garden. And in the field next to my house, a colony of southern marsh orchids has become established, growing amongst the common spotted orchids, which are fairly common in most parts of the country. On the industrial estate in Burnley, orchids are growing on the grassed area surrounding the industrial units. And the rarer bee orchid has also gained a foothold. Eric, a friend of mine, has been a lifelong walker and has walked in most of the rugged parts of the British Isles. He's taken it a bit easier now and has become more interested in botany. And it's no surprise that he's now become an orchid enthusiast, and it's even rubbed off onto Jean, his wife. On this outing we're exploring some of the orchid locations on the Isle of Anglesey.
And you see all these green ones here, it's,
yeah.
You know, they're waiting to come.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the wind.
My video diary of our orchid season starts in spring in our own garden, and not long after the frogs have finished spawning, the first spotted leaves of the orchids are already showing. In about 6 weeks' time, the first flowers will appear. Up in Thurston Valley, the first of the season's orchids have already come into flower. The early purple orchid is generally the first orchid to flower in our area. Our motorhome is the ideal transport for getting about on our outdoor holidays, and the first of many locations we explored was down in Shropshire. Of course, we don't spend all our time searching for orchids. So here are a few clips from our video diary during May and early June. First a few days discovering the Somerset levels. We moved on into Dorset to the Jurassic Coast for a bit of fossil hunting. And then, still in Dorset, a week in Cove Castle. On our many walks there's always the element of surprise when we find an orchid colony. Here we found the heath spotted and marsh orchids growing on Cove Common on the Isle of Purbeck. The Square and Compass, well known for its delicious cheese and onion pasties. It was the perfect lunch stop before the long coastal walk back to Swanage. We knew that some of our rarer orchids grew along this stretch of coast, but most of them had flowered early because of the sunny dry conditions.
On this hillside we've found dozens of bee orchids.
This beautiful orchid looks very much like a bee and has evolved to attract male bees as pollinators. The Vale of Pusey in Wiltshire is another beautiful area off the tourist route. The chalk downs overlooking the vale hold several species of orchids. We found the fragrant and tiny heath spotted orchid, but the find of the day was the greater butterfly orchid.